quite an eventful week, a week of many happenings. It's Let's Be Real. And on this panel today, of course, I have very interesting co-hosts. And we are going to discuss many issues. Of course, I'm your host, CEO Charles Otieno. And I'm joined with an author, a lady who's been here before. And then I have a vlogger, a lady with many, many other things to tell us. And a psychologist. Maria, take it up.
Hi everyone, welcome to Let's Be Real. This is Maria Nyambane Waweru, the author of Marriage is a Scam, and I recently got into fitness. This is the new information actually.
Correct.
Yeah, and I'm really happy to be here. We have lots of things to talk about, and stay tuned. Don't miss a point, not even one.
I had the pressure of saying we have lots to talk about. Yeah, as you said, my name is Lily Aisha. I am a vlogger, yes, but I'm also a human interest and an entertainment host and producer. Yeah, that's what I do for my day-to-day. I'm not into fitness, that is not my portion. Yeah, but nuts are my portion.
But marriage is not your scam.
It's not even my portion. No, marriage is a scam for real.
Hey everybody, my name is Kareem Austin. I am a sociologist. I'm also in healthcare. I just recently relocated to Kenya, so I'm happy to be here and share my information. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a couple of businesses here that I started as well. I'm just happy to share the information that I have.
Have you learned any Swahili, Kareem?
A few words, not much, but a few words. I've only been here for 7 months. So I'm learning, but a few words.
Can I teach you one?
Go ahead.
Say Maria ni mzuri.
Maria.
Ni mzuri.
Maria ni mzuri.
Yes.
What does that mean? What did I just say? What?
Maria is good.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry, you will learn. There are things like kwekwa box. There are many good things you learn in these streets.
I'm picking up. I'm picking up.
Kukula fair. Like,
Fair.
tutakula yako, bro.
Just life. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive deep into it. Well, the National Museums of Kenya last week had a number of workforce which is higher than the number in the books. The Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, which deals with these issues, claim that many organizations in Kenya have a lot of people who are not in the physically there, but the people are saying that they're employed. Do you think there's too many ghost workers in these industries?
Yeah, actually, in most companies, they are ghost workers. They do that because I don't always think they are ghost workers. It's me trying to hire someone to eat their money. That is what I do. Or I'm helping someone who does not even work there. People are paying themselves double in the name of ghost workers. But most companies have ghost workers. It's the only way they can survive with the minimum salary. You have to pay 2 people for you to have enough salary for yourself.
I think most public, because private, it's a bit hard. Private is very, like, you know what's going on.
Yeah.
But the public, I mean, I used to hear, I've never worked in a public office, but I hear things of mtu tu ataweka a jacket and they just say that they're like, you'd even come with your own jacket and put it there to say that there's someone who's literally sitting there. So I think in public offices it's there. And I don't know why we are shocked that this is a story now, because
Right.
as young as I am, I have had that story ever since I was small to the young that I am right now. So it's not such a big deal. It's something that happens, and it's actually like what she's saying. People want to pay themselves double because there's not much money in the public sector. That's what I know, like in the lower people.
So is it corruption?
Of course
It's
it
corruption.
So what do you define corruption as then? And how do you deal with it?
What is corruption? As long as you're not getting it legally, I think it's a form of corruption. I don't know what they'll do with it, because
I think most governments are corrupt, right? So any government that you go to across the world is corrupt. Just me traveling everywhere, I've seen corrupt governments everywhere. I will say that the corruption in Kenya I like. If I was to choose corruption, I would choose the corruption in Kenya because you can see the corruption. You can actually see it. You know, like whereas where you go to the UK or the US, you don't see that corruption. That corruption is hidden. It's swept up under the rug, and it's kind of like I don't even know that somebody is using me. I don't know that. At least here, you get a sense of, okay, it's corruption here. I know to stay away from this area, or I know to go to this area. Whereas in America, you don't know.
I think
you're blind of it.
I think the reason why in Kenya it's seen, it's because it's been too much that it cannot be hidden.
I think it's best you don't know. If you know, it hurts so
No,
much.
it's
No,
because it's now too much. It cannot be hidden. You see, the other places maybe it's tiny. It's like when there's an infestation of pests. You don't see them when they are small. You see them when they've exploded.
Let me flip it. You see, I've always had this. I always say that I would not like to call it corruption. In African culture, I would like to call it stealing. Why I would say is that stealing, and I want to put it hypothetically, if a doctor procures health equipment which is low standard and patients die, as compared to a policeman who takes a bribe on the road, or an engineer who constructs a building. You see, we've never synthesized corruption in matters of where it hurts most. Because if an engineer, for example, goes to build a house with substandard goods and everyone dies, in that the house collapses. There's many houses, we've seen many houses collapsing because of corruption. For me, I think that corruption then, it is a very sanitized word. When you say corruption, it doesn't touch you and me. It looks like something far.
Yeah.
But when you say a doctor has stolen, you go to the hospital today, for example, your dosage is supposed to be 2 times 3, and the doctor decides, I'll give you 1 times 3. End up killing a patient. Because the drugs has been sold to another private clinic.
Right.
So for me, I think that corruption is basically stealing, but not, and then there's a way we sanitized it to fit into only exchange of money, but not exchange of skills, where you work. And I find that's where it's, in African sense, I think there's nothing like corruption. It's just stealing blatantly. What do you guys think?
Yeah, actually it's stealing.
It's definitely
It's definitely stealing, especially when it comes to the health sector. You find that there are some doctors who open their own clinics but get medicine from the public sector.
Yes.
Like, it's my clinic, I have a pharmacy somewhere, but this is where I'll get my medicine from. I have a lab somewhere, all my reagents will come from the public sector. So they are not undergoing any expenses in running their clinics, but they are treating patients. So in health sector, that one is not corruption, that is stealing, and sometimes it can even lead to death of patients who are very innocent. When it comes to an engineering sector, that is stealing, because definitely stealing, there's no way we can define that. But when it comes to now the government, we tend to say it's corrupt because they make us believe like this is the right thing to do most of the time. Like they will even come up with, we have 100 cleaners and it's the right thing to do for us to have 100 cleaners. When in real sense, they are not there 100 of them. You will never go there and start counting 1 to 100. But for them, for government, I feel like they just corrupt. Yes, they are stealing, but for them, corruption just fits them.
Stealing is a form of corruption. I think corruption is the mother, then there are
babies.
Things, and stealing
It's
is
subcategories of corruption. Right.
That's
But,
the word.
but mostly, let's call it stealing. Let's call it
It's
stealing.
Yeah. I think also with the public sector, like you were saying with the public sector, they allot a certain amount of money to spend or to give to employees, right? So if you're like the top boss of this public sector, whatever sector that is, and they allot this certain amount of money, for employees to spend on your employees, then most of the time that boss, he hires his nephew or his, it's like who pretty much. And so these people get the job, and some of them, they don't even go to work, right? They don't even go into the office. They just receiving a check every month.
So I think what we are saying is that there are 3 levels. The first level is that there's that corruption which does not affect each and every, it doesn't affect the whole society. It is you who benefit. But the impact is restricted to an organization or into an environment. But the deeper ones, for example, is, for example, in health. If you procure the wrong equipment, you know, diseases do not know the geographical location.
Yeah.
You can get an accident on the way, and you've stolen from Moranga County, you stole all the equipment, let's say the ICU equipment. You see, that is why I do not understand how we believe that Kenyans or people want to do corrupt deals. Yet they don't know that you might end up in the same situation at the need. An accident can happen. You are not always in your house. You cannot always access the medical facility in Nairobi. You go to the villages and you collapse. You're in the depth of Oloitoktok. The hospital which was supposed to be equipped there, a character decided to steal all the money and bring substandard goods. An engineer decided to divert the road.
Yeah.
So I think we need to look at the depth of our how things are done in Africa. As in, it is the Western one is probably the health sector is fixed. Here you've not fixed it, but you're stealing from it. Fix it, then sort it. I always give an example. There's a certain governor in the past parliament, when they were going to procure the health equipment from India, they decided to procure the lowest quality for MRI equipment.
That's a form of corruption.
So now, and then they told the Indian company, give us the highest specs on paper, but give us the lowest quality of the machine. So when it went, it was put to the district hospital, of course, the level 4. Guess what? Kama, the man collapsed after some time. So now, when he was taken to that hospital, they were rushing him to get him somewhere, and he couldn't reach to a better hospital. So now he didn't see that the crime he had committed has caught up with him. So you are in a hospital, you cannot be taken your MRI because you brought the lowest quality.
Wow.
You end up dying.
Let's just say that sometimes when you do something wrong, it always comes back to you.
I think it's all the time.
It's always.
It's all the time. You just don't know when it will come, but it will come.
Okay, let's breathe a little bit on that one. There's a man who in 1998 was arrested, and he kept saying that he's innocent but was not believed. He kept repeating, I'm innocent. Actually, he was going to see the girlfriend, and then he got into a car, and that car had committed a crime, and he was arrested. And now he's out, and he still insists he did not do the crime. Here is the question. Why? Why would, okay, was the government supposed to believe him, or was he supposed to have evidence? Didn't he have a good lawyer to defend him? How 25 years is no joke for a human being to be locked behind bars for something that he's innocent with. I'm just hoping he did not hurt the girlfriend though, and I'm also hoping that the girlfriend visited. That is all I can, I hope.
25 years visiting?
Okay, I'm so glad he did not date you, because
I mean, as soon as he was arrested, I'm out.
Huh?
Yeah.
Aisha?
Yeah. We don't have time, my G's.
He was innocent.
I wait for 25 years.
And he's a victim of circumstance. It's like someone stealing your ID and putting it in a crime scene, and then you're arrested.
So I read this story. So I have a little problem with this story because they said that it was two guys, right, in a car, and then he asked for, no, they gave him a ride, right? If I just robbed somebody, why would I put somebody in my car? Like, that's the last thing that I would do. That's where it's kind of confusing to me yet. Like, because if I'm a robber and two guys has just robbed this place, I wouldn't offer somebody into my car and say, hey, you need a ride, or hey, where am I taking you? That's
actually a smart move.
It's
because,
you.
because he's cleaning his mess. They know the cow had been spotted, and they would be looked for. So, if we leave the car and leave someone in it, this person is the one who will be blamed because he's the one who will be in the car.
Okay.
So these was very smart robbers, but I hope wherever they are feeling so awful.
But this is not a new story. I do such stories, and I said I'm a human interest journalist. So many people are arrested for crimes they've not committed. How to fix it, I honestly don't know. But I feel like, I don't know if this is my opinion as Lily Aisha, but I feel like as we all have KPIs where we work, I feel like cops also have a KPI. Like, how many
Right.
people are you going to arrest in a day?
Definitely.
So if this guy was all like, we're not going to leave this guy, we have to arrest him, and they didn't even do their due diligence to find out if he's saying he's innocent, why is he saying he's innocent? Because I'm sure if they went further and investigated, they'd have found out this guy genuinely was not part of this whole circus.
I think they did not make any effort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they made an effort, they would even have called the girlfriend to confirm if he was coming.
You see, I think the criminal justice, the way criminal justice works is one, and that, let me take it back a bit. We say the law is an ass. And the criminal justice does not go and ask questions beyond placing you in the scene of crime. So when they place you in the scene of crime, it is your duty to get, it becomes very difficult to get out. A few years ago, a taxi driver had just left, you know, these people who pick the girls from the clubs. They had a constant customer every night, every morning, he drops towards the Buruburu area. So this girl walks in and says, my phone has gone off. Please take this card load, I want to use your phone. So he scratches the Safaricom card and calls. Apparently this card had been stolen. So the police checks the number, serial number, and realizes it has been put on this phone. So they, when this guy dropped that girl and came back, you know, you drop these women in the morning towards them, or you don't know exactly which house she entered, and came back and parked where. 2 minutes later, the police pounced on him, told him, you were in that robbery with violence. The phone you used, the card, placed him from where it was stolen. The guy was in for 10 years for a crime. He couldn't remember this girl pretty well. The number which was called was nowhere. 5 years ago, one of the Kenyan leading footballers, is called Osborne, it's called Monday, was a Tusker player, was just seated after the game, and a friend walked and told him, please, can I use your phone to call a friend? Absent-mindedly, he gave the guy a phone, and the guy makes a call to Somalia, to Al-Shabaab.
Damn.
At night, he's sleeping in his house in Umoja. The ITPU police unit came and banged down the door. He was taken in to prove he can't remember where the guy has disappeared. The guy had slipped back to Somalia. He's told you are part of the Al-Shabaab. So it is your duty as a human being not to take things which guys offer you without hindsight. Because you might end up, for me, this gentleman did not realize that why are you taking lifts from individuals you do not know? The age of ignorance is no longer there, because you can end up, you can give out your phone. I've given you 2 examples. Someone uses your phone, calls Al-Shabaab. How will you prove it is not you? Like that footballer. It takes a whole lot of time for you to convince that you do not have any links with Al-Shabaab.
Is there an amount of money that can replace that 25 years?
There's nothing.
It's nothing, right?
It's your own
I feel the
diligence.
same way. I don't think it's any amount of money that could replace
But he
25
innocently
years.
asked for a
Yeah,
ride.
like
That's
the
why you
thing.
don't-
Innocently.
All these guys are innocent. It's not like
Yeah,
the
they're
situations
innocent.
coming to your
Yes.
space are questionable. Because I know I use the bypass. There's so many people you see just asking
Yes,
for
yes,
lifts, and
yes.
some people do give them lifts, but you just don't know. Like, it doesn't have to be like you've given this person the lift. They're, you know, there's something fishy about it. That's the thing. Like, it's, I don't think, though you're saying it's our duty as me to be like, okay, so should I give this guy a lift? If I
Yes.
do, but that's too much for you to do as compared to that cop who has found the situation. All they have to do is just a little bit of investigation. Just a little bit, as compared to you being a nice guy, because you're just being nice. These guys are just being nice to offer this guy a ride.
We can't just be mean all our lives.
Yeah.
Like,
We-
we've decided we are going to be mean. We will
Sikupe
never
simu
do
sasa,
everything.
mtasa-
No phone, no lift, no nothing. Like, even if I find you dying, I will not help you
Be
because
like,
I don't know.
Because I might get scammed. I might get scammed if I save your
So
life.
we can't be so mean. I feel like the justice system is the problem, because
Right.
we are human beings at the end of the day. We
Yeah,
have
that's-
compassion. We can't just ignore the fact that we have compassion.
Yeah.
And that's what I
It's
said.
born
that-
in us.
Yeah, that's why I was saying the criminal justice, the way it works, does not take you to, it just places you, and I said, in the scene of crime. It doesn't try to look at the motive. For the cops to look for the motive, it becomes a totally long journey, and they do not have the
Right.
resources. So they just want to place you.
Also lazy.
They're just
also
Lazy,
yeah,
right.
they're
They're very
so
lazy.
lazy.
The report,
Because
I
if-
have to fill out this long report, and then it's the long police report. But I think like the legal system is it's a rich man's game. Like if you have money, then you can hire a good lawyer, and maybe he could have got off on that charge. But you know, like it's a rich man's game. So if you don't have the money to fund your defense, then most of the time you're gone. So
And also remember that the legal systems are also to make sure that they have to keep some communities down. The American legal system is to repress the blacks, basically.
right, true,
They want to try and make sure that you are down there.
true.
The legal system, the criminal justice is always to make sure that the rich have the peace of mind. And
Very
the
true.
poor are kept in that condition. So if you cannot keep the poor in that condition, then they'll become rich, and who will be a subject?
I wish they all become rich so that they don't get 25 years. 25 years is
25,
just too
dang,
much.
That's your life.
Like
that's
it's the
your life.
entire life.
And you still expect that girl to stay again, girl?
Yeah, no girl is
25
staying.
years.
Yeah,
Okay,
well,
I visit at least.
For why?
Just visit.
Maybe a
Give them
girlfriend.
information. Like, okay, I got married. By the way, how are you doing?
It's a
I have
girlfriend.
a kid. By the way, how are you doing? When he gets
so
out,
why
you,
do girls, by the way, why do girls leave?
that's
when you-
wrong. I won't leave. Just say.
That's a lie, girl.
I'm a-
That's
I
a
don't-
lie.
Aisha, would you leave?
I would leave.
I'm sure I leave
Yeah?
before,
As soon as
before he gets into
the
jail.
sentence
Aisha would be
is-
gone.
yeah, the sentence is like, you're jail 25. I'm like, hey, bro, it's been real.
I wouldn't even ask. Me, if I was jail 25, I'm not even asking you to stay with me for that long, you know? It's like,
give-
well, you know I'm in for 25, so just go ahead, you know, do what you have to do.
Yeah,
I
thank
wish you
you.
the best. Bye.
Thanks.
You
Would
know,
you
like-
let a girl go like that? Like, it's okay, you can go?
Go where?
Stay with
There's more
Stay for
than just
25
you,
years.
sir.
Go where?
There are
Yeah.
others.
Stay for 25 years.
That's mean. You're also being mean to
Yeah, that's
me.
Okay,
selfish.
I
Yeah.
just
Selfish.
it's not being selfish. In this case, it's not being selfish because this guy was genuinely caring about that girl. That if he had
My
stayed
friend-
home,
And do you expect us men to stay?
Don't stay. That's what I'm saying. It's mean. If I'm arrested by the bro, by all means, find your way. Go find
what if
happiness.
something nice
Don't
happens
Find
and then I'm
cuddles.
released?
Find love. Don't
Right.
stay. I'll be with someone. Maybe even I'll get a cop who's inside there and I get married to a cop and you're here with you.
What if I'm released before the 25 years?
I mean, as soon as you please understand, as soon as you're going,
You're out.
yeah, we are done. Unless you're released the next day, my feelings, of course, have not died. I'll be like, oh, babe, I'm sorry. I just made a mistake.
Oh, wow. The
But-
mistake story.
Yeah. The
But-
next day.
Kenyan girls, do you actually?
No,
Anyway, let
for me,
leave
I
you
will, I
there.
will
You
stand.
will stay, but let
I
me
will stay.
Aisha,
25 years, you'll stay.
I'm already married, so
Nelson
that's not happening
Mandela's
to me right
wife
now,
stayed.
but I'll stay.
Okay.
And that's why she's a hero. We all can't be heroes. We all have to have different stories. We all, if you have all of us have the same story, it's boring. We have to
Aisha
have
has
different
already
stories.
given up their hero story.
Yeah, that's
She's
not
okay.
my portion. I'm baby girl. Heroism is not for me. Next.
next online.
Next.
What if the person that comes next gets arrested? You still keep
Next.
moving until
Yeah. But also, am I cast? Everyone is getting
Right.
arrested.
If you just meeting gangsters, that's some
That's
point,
a- that's- I'm the
it's-
problem.
exactly.
but to be honest, I would stay. I would stay.
I love it for
You're
you.
a good one.
Shout out to your
I would stay.
husband.
Great
A
one.
great woman.
Yeah,
Phew.
he's found a good
I think,
one.
guys and ladies and gentlemen, let's go in a short break and we come back with more captivating. But Aisha,
Sibaki. Aye.
let's be real.
New Superstay Vinyl Ink from Maybelline, New York. Shake up your long wear with no budge vinyl color. Color lock formula. Up to 16-hour wear. New Superstay Vinyl Ink, Maybelline, New York.
Oh, welcome back. I think it has been very fascinating. There are very divergent views here, of course. Our psychologist giving us the lowdowns, and of course, Aisha. Aisha is Aisha.
Thank you.
Let me just say that. She's not your safest pair of hands. She is just a pair of good hands.
Okay, at least there's some
let's dig.
positivity. At least there's some positivity.
I was not expecting the
Yeah,
positivity.
same. I was just like, guy, but yeah. Mhm.
Of course, and Maria, let's get into then what happened this week. Safaricom announced that they will now increase the limit of withdrawal from 200 and was it 290 or 270 to 500,000, which is a huge amount. M-Pesa has been one of them. I was watching a clip where some Western countries are really mesmerized the way we are able to do our payments, our mobile payments, because remember, as M-Pesa is a we call it a text-based. It's just someone text sending you. You don't see the money. It's just the way you send a text to your friend. It's a text-based thing. What you see is just a text, and it tells you you've received 2,000, you received 3,000. Money actually does not move from your phone to the next phone. It's a text which moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is not money which comes. You just see a text, you've been paid 5,000. It's just words. But the money remains with the bank. Or you walk to an agent, you get the money, you give it to another agent. So it has been very fascinating the way it has changed our life. People can pay for things, people work, and our payment system has been transformed. It's very hard to find anyone using cash. What do you think was the need of increasing to 500,000?
I'm actually shocked because I've never gotten to the limit. Okay.
This is your year.
This is my
2023.
year. I've never gotten to the limit. Now they've increased. It doesn't affect me in any way. Why? I don't know. But also, okay, I don't know why. Maybe by that it's true. The text-based thingy makes it look like I'm poor. Like I don't touch my money, and then you're telling me that I can now send texts up to 500,000
It's a text.
It's a day, right? 500,000
Yeah.
a
a
day.
right?
Now I can just send
Right.
texts worth that 500,000, and I won't even touch it.
Right.
Wow. So, to be honest, I didn't see the need. Honestly, I didn't see the need.
I
didn't
think
see
if
the
you're a
need.
business
That's what I was
person,
You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
touched
You feel-
the 500.
And that's
I've
the
not
whole point.
touched, but when I was doing business, back when I felt like I was a businesswoman,
What
I
happened?
wish business is not my push. Again, I say I'm a baby
Oh,
girl.
sure, then you already finished the
I'm a
limit of
baby
Safaricom.
girl. Like that time was 300. It was very small, but the transaction you make are so many. So you get to a point where you're feeling like you can't continue. By like midday, there's not much you can do because you've surpassed the limit. The things we're transacting were very, like you needed to get pay. So
I think during COVID times it would have been great to increase.
no, that time what were we doing? We were doing nothing but
The
chilling.
people were making money in COVID, by the way.
Were you on TikTok COVID times?
Oh, I've never even been active on
Oh,
TikTok.
okay.
Yeah.
Those are the people who are making money.
It's
Well,
a,
no,
Thank
this
you.
one.
I'm joining today.
Are you trying to, Aisha, you've not eaten someone's fare, ikafika 500?
Kafika 500.
1,000.
Yes.
And why are we suspecting Aisha?
I'm just asking.
Let me tell you, I could be eating fair, but not 500,000.
'Cause where are
I
you
think I need to
traveling?
thank you, Safaricom. You have actually empowered me to move to the next level.
of eating.
Please,
Of
everyone,
eating
watch
fair.
Let's Be Real. If you want to date Aisha, please watch Let's Be Real.
But anyway, on a serious, I think it's good for people who are business people. It's going to help them a lot. But for me, who's just at this base, I just want to call myself common. It's not going to affect me in any way because my salary is not M-Pesa based, So I'm not doing business for now, but for business people, it's going to help them so much. For me, just common, for me, I was just like, okay, this is another story. Next.
But if Safaricom did that, they must have had a reason to do it.
Yeah, there's always something.
They've seen a lot of people are getting to the limit. Now they're like, we can make more money if we increase our limit. And we know Safaricom.
Yeah, business is booming
They-
here. Business is growing in Nairobi. I mean, me just coming here and starting a couple of businesses that just took off.
They've taken
Are you
off.
Yeah,
hiring?
yeah,
Are you
seriously.
hiring?
I'm
I'm
leaving.
hiring. I mean, if you go for, so I do have a laundry business and then a clothing business that I just started, and they seem to be taking off. So I could see why they increased that with Nairobi booming and growing so much. More people are coming here. A lot of people who used to live here are moving back because of remote jobs, right? So they're able to move here, and more people are even able to move to Africa and work remotely, and so more money is coming into Africa. So it is an opportunity for businesses to grow. I also think it's a reason why they did this is because of taxes, right? So if they increase taxes, then that means more money is being spent, right? So that means your limit does need to increase if they're, charging you more for taxes. So your limit will need to increase if they're, increasing taxes. So I think it's a business move, so to speak.
Yeah,
And
it has nothing to do with us.
yeah.
It's got to do with
My
them.
problem with, I'm totally divided about increasing and to 500. One is that the financial system of a country is one of the systems which must always be guarded because of, one, money laundering and all that. When the moment you increase the limit of M-Pesa to a certain level, are you not inviting too many people into your system with dirty money to clean it? Remember that a few years ago, our limit for withdrawal, if you go to a bank today and you want to deposit $1 million, they will ask you, where do you got in that $1 million? It was $1 million, you couldn't deposit a check more than $1 million. It, in a way, it just restricts people who drug trade, people who do this other dirty cash, just proliferating and cleaning them into the system so that you find your system has a lot of cash rich, which does not represent your forex. And that has been an issue. So probably Safaricom is trying to do this because the current regime, first of all, what they did is to remove the cap for 1 million. And there was a lot of hue and cry that this will increase money laundering. Now, Safaricom has increased their limit. Good for businessmen. As you say, Daisha, fantastic. Business now can work easily. But the structure of controls is what I have an issue with. How are we controlling our system, even if you're getting more taxes, so that you do not have dirty money coming into your system without notice? Because today, I would just need to sit in the house. I have 20 million. I will deposit 500 every day.
Yeah.
I'll go to this M-Pesa, 100, 100, and I say, and I'll clean my money as quick as I can, because if I go to the bank, the transaction will be easy. They'll ask me, so you've been depositing 500, where are you working from? Where is this money from? You see, are you killing people? Are you robbing people? So it is a good thing, but we must be very careful with our financial systems, not to increase just dirty money into our economy.
Yeah.
But we don't have a say. You know, when they decide that they're doing it, we just
And if that's their
watch.
plan,
We just watch. Those, if anyone is actually,
You see,
most time is money laundering.
You see, most of Kenyans, there are people who are in the past regime, their money were locked. So for you to unlock it, you have to put different policies so that that money comes into the system. The easiest way to bring that money into the system is to improve the levels of businessmen will say, oh yes, you've saved us, but you are just a collateral. You are not the main culprit. I didn't want you to benefit, but you're benefiting because it has to be seen as business. Yeah.
don't you feel like also this increasing makes the system of money, what do you call it? The way money goes like this. It has a word. There's a word we say, my God.
So circulation.
Circulation. There we go. It's going to help the circulation of the economy, the Kenyan economy.
I think that's what he's trying to say though. Like with the wide circulation, you know, the looser you get with the circulation,
Yes.
the easier it is for dirty money to come in. But my thing is, I feel like the people who make the laws are the ones who need to watch that dirty money. So a lot of times, it's like, you know, that's the circle of life as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
that's the circle as well. So a lot of times these, you know, like for instance, was it the CEO of Safaricom? He stepped down, wasn't it? Wasn't it the CEO who stepped down
Yeah.
recently?
Not
Michael Joseph.
Michael
yeah.
Joseph, yes.
Yeah.
The board chair.
Right. Okay. So he stepped down, right? And as soon as he stepped down, this new, let's increase now.
Yes.
So a lot of times when these people step down, they know something. It's like, hold
There's
up.
a lot of boardroom fights.
Yeah.
So because someone might not have agreed.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that the risk, it is a beautiful thing for businesses, genuine business, but it's dangerous. It's very dangerous to either the organization, and I said, remember this is very rudimentary. M-Pesa, the way we pride in it, is a very rudimentary system. It is a text. There's nothing which moves. It's like you saying hi, hi.
Yeah.
That's it.
It is that system.
That's it.
Yeah. No money that moves. It is the text that moves. Let's move on to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen. I think M-Pesa, 500 million or 500,000, if you're not in that level, it doesn't help us.
Yeah.
But for businessmen,
Not.
do your thing. Let's talk about more money. Let's talk about dowry. In African setup, people always want their girls to be married and something bride price is paid. The question is, if you is bride price opportunistic, or it's supposed to, should it survive, stand?
Definitely should stand.
What do you mean?
It should be. That's not opportunistic, because I feel like dowry is not a form of payment like atista shika unipay. I don't think it works like that. I'm Kikuyu, so I know dowry continues, like it's every time you bringing shopping for 20,000. That's considered you're still paying dowry. Yeah. So it's. I feel like it needs to be there. Not I feel like it should be there, because for me to get to where I am, honestly, it's taken a lot. It's taken a lot for me to braid my hair. It's taken a lot for me to make my nails, to buy these shoes, for my mother to take me to school, to be able to sit here and talk to you like this and be very eloquent. And I'm assuming I'm eloquent. Okay. Yeah, to be very eloquent and, you know, express myself. It's taken a lot. That has taken my mom so much to do, and all that much used money to do it. So why not appreciate and tell my mom, for you, I need to give you something small or big.
So how much do you, how much should it be?
Honestly, I don't have a limit as to, I mean, we are past the M-Pesa limit, so it has to be past the M-Pesa. But I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to be like those celebrities who come on and say 3 million, what million? If you want to go to the 50 million, by all means, you do it. Because like I'm saying, it's a thing that you keep doing all the time. You won't stop doing it. Today, you will give my mom maybe $1 million for the day before my Rora show. Then later on, you decide you're going to be shopping. Every time you come, you give her like 100,000. That's still paying dowry. So I think it's a continuous thing, and it should be like that. Not because you're buying me, but because you're appreciating the people who've taken care of me, and even appreciating me for taking care of me.
But
For you.
sometimes get it from someone who is married now.
Okay.
Yes.
Dowry is important, very important actually. It shows the appreciation and the respect. However, you find that most of the time when someone is coming to marry, they're not on a certain financial level as to like, okay, right now if my husband was to pay my dowry, right now, it will not be the same as what he paid earlier. Because when he was starting, he was not in the financial capacity that he is now. But now the problem comes in when right now you dictate your price in such a manner that, okay, this man will just run away. Like they just go away because of the fact that it's too much. And different cultures do it differently.
Yeah.
Some cultures dictate this is the amount you want before you get our daughter out of here. And then you find that man cannot afford. A lot of relationships have ended because of that. Actually, mine almost ended because of that. So you find that...
Wait, you just can't say that and just go. Because you asked for a lot?
No, you know, we don't discuss our dowry, the ones who are getting married. So the people who are discussing do not care. They just see that girl, look at that girl, she's educated, she's working. Kwanza, if she's working, that is where now the line is drawn. So they feel like we are entitled to even the fact that she's working. So that part brings friction when this man is really struggling to find a wife and he does not have the amount he's being asked for. It becomes a problem. So you find that a man would opt to, instead of me stressing myself or killing myself to get a girl, I'll go away. Because he'll start feeling like, am I buying her? Is it not an appreciation that I can go the way I am? With time, because I always say, sometimes I feel like those who pay dowry, after they've stayed with a girl, are lucky. Because at that time, you are financially able to deal with it. But most of those people who are starting, they are not in that capability of doing it.
I agree.
Like you see, with you, you're already working, and already the man you're dating, I assume, okay, I know you are dating. You can't be this good looking and not be dating.
I'm not, she's lying.
Anakula fair.
And a cool affair, okay. The man you're going for, you are going for a certain will have to have a certain financial level, because definitely you don't want to take care of that man. So,
No.
good.
Why would you take care
Why?
of a man?
Yuck.
You will ask, you will feel like they should ask for more at that time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd want even him to ask for less so that to back in a pesa, so that we have more money to stay for me and him. But
Listen to Kashi.
So hold up. So from my understanding, because you know, like I'm from America, but I've been here and I'm familiar with the dowry process. From my understanding, right, if you like are educated, then like maybe the woman went to college, right? Then she can get more for the dowry. Is that correct?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
can, and most of the time, the woman does not even have a say so in this. It's usually the father and the
uncles.
The uncles
right?
actually mostly.
So, or the two fathers, maybe my father, let's say me and you, it was my father talking to your father, right? Right? Or you wouldn't have anything to do with
No.
that.
Mostly, actually, it's your father and his
Brothers.
brothers
Okay,
talking to
talk-
my father and
right.
his brothers.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So from just, you know, I've made friends here, guy friends, female friends, things like that. And from what I'm seeing, it seems like it's too much. And I feel like it's putting a damper on why people are not getting married. I think you mentioned that. You was like, it was almost, we almost didn't get married
Yeah.
because the dowry, you know, the price was too high, or, you know, a lot of times, even a woman, she may say, you know, she may be in love and may say, hey, you can just give me what you can, right? But with the father being involved and the parents being involved, it's like, look, I invested into my daughter. I put all of this time and effort into my daughter. We need this amount. And that could cause a friction, you know, between the two people, you know, that initially want to be together. So I think it's a little bit too high. And then also you got to look at the economy and things like that. Like a lot of these men, they're not making a bunch of money that, you know, these women are asking for. So what I've heard is that even some people take loans out. Like you taking a loan out to get married, you setting
Madness.
yourself up for failure. That's failure right there. If you're taking a loan out to get married.
And you know now the problem is you find that this man struggled, took you from your parents' house, and now after he leaves that place, he's never going back there. The
Right.
relationship between this man and your family is diluted
Right,
to the core.
exactly.
So I feel like sometimes families should be striving for their kids to be happier, to be more happy, to be more at peace in their homes, rather than the dowry. The dowry should come as per what a person can afford.
Yeah.
And believe you me,
Right.
I know what my man can afford if he's coming to marry me.
Exactly.
Right.
I don't think my uncles know what my man can
Exactly,
afford.
exactly. So that's where the disconnect that I was talking about, because you have nothing to do with that, right?
Yeah.
You have no say so in that. I have to talk to your uncles, your father, and they don't care. They don't care about me or how much money I make or whatever it be. So that's where the disconnect lies in that. And also, it's just one other point I wanted to make. A lot of times, you know, like, and just to throw this out here, not to, you know, take a shot at anybody, but single motherhood is rising right now, right? So if I have to pay more for this woman and she went to college and she has this education and I have to pay more, that's understanding. But if she has a child, do I pay less?
Damn.
I mean,
Yeah, you want to pay less?
I'm just saying, like, if she has a child, does it, like, you know, does that matter? Is that something that is,
I feel you, brother.
Okay, that's all I'm-
It's interesting that
Yeah.
because people are unrealistically asking for money they can't even themselves raise. I think dowry is a beautiful thing.
I agree.
It's a beautiful thing to pay dowry. It cements relationships. But what we've realized over the years is that the people who used to care about the well-being of families and development have gone, and they've been replaced by Shylocks, people who want to make money out of wedding where they didn't sow. So your father, the father of the girl, sometimes don't even have a bigger say. It's the uncles who come and say they went to school and you didn't even contribute a shoe.
They didn't even send you a success card.
They didn't send a
That's
success
more
They don't
insulting.
even know what you studied.
Yeah, they don't know.
Okay, I don't know why the success
Because-
card was painful for me. I don't know why.
Because this woman, they want that money because when it's given, a couple of them will be given. But remember that in African culture, there are some cultures which do it differently. The Kikuyu, the Luo, Luya, Kisi, those ones will pay. But if you go to the northern part of Kenya, the dowry is paid to the girl.
I would love that.
Who are the who?
I think that's
The dowry
No, which tribes?
from Somali and all
that's
those people.
Islamically.
You're going to
That's
make Aisha
Islamically.
leave her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
Most Islamic.
Islamically, yeah.
You do not pay the father. The dowry you pay, the chemo you pay.
Very true.
If you say there are 200, it is, if it's Aisha you're marrying, the whole of that is Aisha's.
It's going to her. Correct.
Abdi Hussein.
Correct.
You understand?
How are you?
And I
Yeah.
said,
And the other way, does the woman see any of that money usually?
No.
The other way, meaning if you give it to the father.
Yeah, they don't see it.
They
She
don't
doesn't
see
see
it.
it.
They're not
Yes,
even
but in
supposed
the other culture, the Islamic culture, and when the dowry is for Maria, that money is for you, not your father, not your brothers.
She looking like she got scammed.
Your husband is giving you money that you start life with.
I don't know why uncles is a problem. I don't know.
Uncles are actually
Uncles is a
are a
problem
very
for
big
me.
problem.
It's a problem.
In that whole setting. Uncles are a problem. But I feel
What about aunties?
but aunties don't have in the dowry setting. They in these cultural things the women are told.
And dare you leave your husband because of a problem?
They tell you to sit on a stool. I went for a show the other day, and they say if the husband has not come home 3 days, sit him on these stools and ask him, why aren't you home for 3 days? I said, if this is marriage, it is a scam. I'm not doing it. But like I'm saying, you need to, as a woman, you also have to have a lot of strength to tell your dad, listen, my husband can only afford this amount of money. So it's either you take that or, I mean, I think it's time for even us to just I don't know the English word of kukiuka sheria.
Okay, you know now
to
the
just
good
go
thing,
aside,
the
away
funny
from
thing
it.
is, with me, my husband is the one who went to my dad on himself, alone. Okay, that man is courageous. Alone, and sat my dad down. That's how much he really wanted to marry me. But he had left me. I'm not supposed to be defending him. It's okay.
Well, you have so much. I feel like we need a separate interview.
You're
with
the
you.
therapist.
You need to see this guy.
I remember there's a friend of mine who, and some people, men have taken it totally wrongly. I remember a guy there's an estate here in Nairobi, Eastlands, called Umoja. Had come from UK, decided to marry this beautiful girl. They went for the dowry. It was expensive. He paid. But then there were some things he hadn't completed doing, these cultural things. So on the wedding date, he was told that before you wed, you must complete this amount of money which was remaining. So he said, well, I'll pay. So the night before the wedding, he was totally suited up. You know the way suited, the bride with the maids were in a separate place. So now, the groom and his men decided to go to a bar. Apparently, this man was already done. He wasn't going for that wedding. So the wedding is ready, is paid for the food, location, the church, everything is paid for. He paid. But he wanted to teach this other family a lesson. He dressed in his official suit and went to the pub and started drinking at midnight. He picked his flight back to the UK.
Are you serious?
In the morning, the girl has already dressed up
That's how
and
wedding
is ready
is.
to go to the church, and the groom couldn't be found. The best man who was with him had chewed a blackout, drank too much, couldn't even remember where he is. They went to wake him up. He said, I don't know where he is. They go to his house. The father doesn't know where the son is. Apparently, the guy had left. When in the church, the choir was busily singing.
Wow.
The choir is singing. The priest is there. There's no groom. There's no bride.
Wow.
The bride was told at midday that guy, you know when you call and the phone does, the phone
Disconnected.
is disconnected.
Ah.
They realized the guy was in the UK. The girl was taken to a hospital immediately. She collapsed. Because she couldn't. Now the other guests who arrived, they were told you can continue eating and the cake is there for you to eat as for free as well now. Because where do you take all those things?
And the worst part is during the dowry, you select the wrong girl.
So you see.
We're not going to talk about that, yeah, because you'll pay more if you take the wrong girl. So anyway, let me tell you something. For the best of the best nuts, macadamia, and cashew nuts. We get them from Wild Collar Grocers. Actually, let me tell you guys, these things are yummy.
They really
They
are.
are yummy. Like you're on set and then it's not boring. And the conversations and everything, we are enjoying everything that we have here. The set is amazing. And let me tell you the truth, you guys are awesome.
Of
You're
course.
making this time very magical. I wish you could do a show for 5 hours. Yeah, anyway, guys, if you want to get your nuts, your macadamia, your avocado, and any farm products, you can get them from Wild Collar Grocers. We are going to take a short break, and then we'll be back on Let's Be Real. I hope you're enjoying the show because I know I am.
Welcome back. That marriage interview, the story has brought a lot of issues. Aisha, when you want to get married,
Me, I've gone for Hussein Abdi. Tumesema hao ndo naendea. So they're giving me the money. So Hussein Abdi, I'm looking for Muhammad.
those
Hi.
were
Those are, those are the ones I want. Because they're giving me the dowry, not my...
okay. Welcome, guys. I think Aisha has decided hataki kulipa mahari the other ways, anataka kulipiwa yeye mwenyewe akule. Well, in this episode, of course, we have our usual wine. Where is it? I don't drink, but the wine from Catherine Masisa, this very nice wine, wonderful. You can taste it. It comes in different flavors. There's sweet, there's hard, and you can take even the champagne if you want. If you're a teetotaler like me, eat your njugu karangas at home or cashew nuts. But I have my brother Karim here who will tell you he likes the wine. Do you like it?
It's crisp. It's a little sweet. It's sweet wine, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like the dry wine, but it's good. It's really good, and the cashews are amazing. They have like a little honey glaze to them.
Yes, yeah.
On point.
Aisha, do you like the wine?
Yeah, I do. I actually really do. It's very nice. You can taste, you can understand that you're taking wines. It's not something cheap.
So, welcome back, guys. So tell me, take it off, Maria.
Okay. Now, this one is going to be interesting. Yeah, I'm saying interesting because Anna
The way you've looked at me.
Yeah, I know. So, is it true? Okay, you know, right now, by the way, let me tell you the truth. Polygamy is all over, even if we don't say or admit. And polygamy is all over. Some people are actually okay with their spouses being with anyone else. Just give me peace, date whoever you want. But then, is it true that people are attracted to people who have more resources and money more, irregardless of if they're in relationships, if they're married, if they're taken, they don't care about that. Like, if you have something,
People
I
or
come for
women?
you.
People or women?
okay, we're not saying just women right
Even
now.
men
Oh,
this-
okay. 'cause
Even
women-
men
yeah.
these days
Are attracted to women with
more
resources?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true, but I think that women are definitely attracted to men. That's been a case
Even if
since,
they're taken.
even if they're taken. That's been the
Especially
case since day
if
one.
they're taken. I think.
Since day one.
No, if they're taken, there are no complications. That's what they say.
Yeah, it's easier. It's just transaction.
It's not true. Okay, but
Yeah.
you know how many people are crying because of that? Like, really, imagine when
Crying
they were
because of-
married, they didn't have all these resources. Now, immediately they get resources, and this is a common problem in men now. Before you have all the resources, your wife is your idol. You love her. She's amazing. Money comes. You now decide that one is not enough.
I agree.
You go for another one. Now, the other one who comes knows that you have resources. Now, they don't want complications. You are going to finance my life, make me comfortable, and I am going to enjoy to the fullest, and I'll give your wife peace. So in this case, it's polygamy, but it's not stated outright. Like, you have two women,
That's who we date. Okay, so
but
what I
we
call
see now the wife suffers.
what I call cheating is the poor man's polygamy. Cheating is the
Yeah,
poor
that's
man's
cheating.
polygamy.
That's not polygamy.
That's
That's
not, yeah, that's cheating. So that's like the poor man's polygamy. But you know, the
poor man's
proper
polygamy.
way of doing polygamy, you know, is if you go to your wife and you tell her, look, for whatever reason, a lot of times in different cultures, polygamy is looked on as a good thing because maybe another woman is struggling in a tribe or in a community, right? And maybe she has a single child or she's a single mom, and that child needs a role model. So in a lot of ways, polygamy could be a good thing. it's not always seen as a bad thing in every culture. You know, in some ways it is seen as a good thing. But I think that cheating is that what you're explaining is not polygamy. That's cheating. But if you go to your wife and you like, hey, you know, or sometimes even in some cases, in some cultures, the wife will come up to the husband and say, look, I've been talking, you know, with this woman and we friends.
Oh, wow.
And she needs help in her home or whatever it may be, and you're a successful man, so you know you can help her out.
Yes.
Can I
Which
be
women are
successful
this?
and give you a check a month? Can I just be successful and give you a check a month, but not sleep with you? Like, I'm just saying that I'm not okay with you being polygamous because you have money. I'm okay with you deciding that you're going to be this kind and compassionate to someone, but don't just tell me that you're marrying someone else because their son needs a role model. Can I just be a role model and have coffee with your son once a week? Not you.
Well, a lot of times, a lot of times in that case, you know, it's a difference when having a man in a house than having a man outside,
yes.
right? It's a difference. A boy or a girl is going to grow up different when both parents are in the house rather than it's a single mom in the house or a single father in the house. So it is benefits to polygamy in a lot of cultures. It's very beneficial.
Can these men stop being, what do you call it? You can't all be saints. Who are you? Are you ice cream to please everybody?
Yeah.
Stop trying to fix somebody else's. That mother is single, that's her problem. You stay here in this marriage and stay with me. Just because she's single and she needs, the son needs a father figure, get your brother to be the father figure to that child.
Please do.
Don't go for another husband.
Yeah.
We can't try and make it, so, you know, we see things and say, oh, you know, they need help. That's fine. Like what she said, you need help financially. As a family, my husband and I
yes.
will give you the money.
Okay, but most men, let's be real, a lot of men are cheating anyway, right? So would you rather a man just have a woman as a side piece, right? Or he's cheating on you anyway. Man, he's going to cheat on you anyway.
Where do you
so
guys
is he going
do that?
Is
Where do you
he
guys
going to
say
have
that?
a side piece
are we
though?
supposed to pretend that women don't cheat?
Okay, but listen, is he going to have a side piece or is he going to have somebody who he's actually taking care of
None
and
of
respecting?
the above.
How sure am I that there would be number 3?
You can't
You
stop
brought
it
the
either
second.
way.
But that's the thing. I think men, and I say this because I have a lot of male friends, and I say this all the time. This thing of you saying men are wired to cheat. Which men?
Which men?
Why is it just you Kenyan men that like to cheat a lot?
He's not Kenyan man now.
You're
I'm
Kenyan
not.
before.
No,
You're not
no,
Kenyan.
no.
But
Do you
you
cheat?
cheat.
Do you
No.
cheat?
In the past, I have. In the past,
When you were young
when I
and you
was
didn't
young,
have- yeah,
yes, when
that's
I was
okay.
young, I did cheat. You know,
That's your
and-
girlfriend, not your wife.
Yeah, I mean, when I
Okay,
was young,
if it's your
Listen.
girlfriend, we understand, because I dated, and I don't think, okay, my parents should never watch this. I don't think I ever dated one man when I was in my dating state. Same. I don't think
so
I
you
ever
dated multiple.
To pick, of course. Choose
Yeah, before you
can't-
settle.
If you can't settle
But that's
after
not
dating
cheating
one
though.
guy.
That's still not cheating though. That's
But
not
if you're my
cheating.
boyfriend and I'm seeing somebody else,
That-
then I'm cheating on
okay,
you.
yeah, that's
Okay,
different.
Guys,
what is wrong with that?
I think I'll take it back to basics. First of all, polygamy is not a bad thing.
Definitely.
It is not. Polygamy was put in place to assist cultures where there were more women to get husbands. And it was based on the system, the value system people had. The problem I have is that the current organization of people, the way they relate, they do not understand the values of polygamy. In the Muslim world, if you want to be polygamous, and I support polygamy 100%, you must provide the same women with the same quality of life. If it is a house you're buying, you buy both of them. If their clothes, the same. If the school, you take them to the same schools, your kids. The problem is when you want to take another wife and you give the first wife a raw deal. You see, because in these relationships, there are people who are monogamous and are not even taking care of their families anyway.
Yeah, true.
There's a man who is somewhere, and remember that traditionally, even women, even our grandmothers only looked for men of means. This thing of women looking for men with money didn't start today.
Yeah, it's still in the Bible.
They would send a kid to go and check whether that homestead had granary, had cows, had something to eat.
I take
Do
offense
they have
in sending
land?
a kid.
No, to go check, to do the spy work. So that when you come back, you tell them, I've gone, and this character who wants to marry you has something.
This.
But now, if you are poor, and you do want to marry 2 wives, that's where the problem is. Because now you can't fend for both of them. For every man and woman, every man basically has a duty to provide. Our role is to provide. If you can provide, and I do not understand why women get fascinated that this man will sleep with the other woman. Why do you draw the line? Sleeping is just sleeping.
Okay, I'm not drawing the line there for me. For me, I'm drawing the line whereby we have a lazy generation of right now men.
It is.
Women are complaining of time and attention. Where are you getting that time and attention to give another woman?
They're all of them in the same house.
In the same house. How do I look at you and I'm like, today, which bedroom are you sleeping in?
And that's the problem with polygamy nowadays with me. Is that polygamy, like you said, it used to be traditional, right?
Yeah.
And now it's more modern where now a man will have 2 and 3 women in the house and calling that polygamy. Whereas traditionally, and like you said, Islamically, they each had their own separate home, right?
Yes, yes.
It's kind of like it's an old saying that they say, like, 2 women in the kitchen is too many, right? So how can you have like 3 women in the house and then expect that to work? Like that doesn't work.
You go look for a house. You're going house hunting. We need a 4-bedroom because I have 4 wives. So I'll sleep on this one.
That doesn't work either.
Yeah, in the same house is a
work.
bit chaotic.
It's a bit chaotic.
Different houses, that's fair.
But,
and I also agree
but are
with
you okay
She's
with
hearing
your
me in the other
husband who is
room.
not giving you time and attention? You are there seated until today I'm in house number 2, house number 3.
I honestly feel like I'd be very comfortable because let me tell you,
Aisha is comfortable.
it's comfortable because
I'm shocked.
let me tell you, stay with someone constantly is also a lot for me. Like this person you need
Get a hobby.
At least
let him go play football, not marry.
Imagine he'll come back after football. He'll come back.
So you
to
want
that
him
house.
away for how
so
long?
I'd rather
Pay for him a trip.
How long? You'll pay this month. Next month he's there the whole month.
You
Well,
are
let me
aware
tell
that he
you.
will sleep there on Monday and then Tuesday to you.
Yeah, imagine you have a break, like 2 days a week, I don't have to cook, I don't have to clean, I don't have to do all these things for this man. There's somebody else to do it. Honestly, I don't know if I'll be comfortable with polygamy, but I think I would. I think I would be comfortable, just that we need to for me, what I'm afraid of is the diseases that come, because me, as I keep saying, I'm a baby girl, so I need to take care of myself. So if we are being like 3 wives, are we all clean? Are we all safe? You want to sleep here Monday, Tuesday, by all means, sir. You give me my money, make sure me and my children are safe, and the other children are also safe and equal. I think that works best, because as he said, I don't know again why men put it in their head that they have to cheat. So if this man wants to cheat, then you know what? Let's have a system of cheating.
Thank you.
You cheat
I
on Monday,
agree.
you cheat on Tuesday, then you come back here on Wednesday. I think that's the best way to work. For me, I think polygamy would actually be,
And even if
as long as I'm aware. If you're not aware is the problem.
Yeah, and when you
we are
marry,
never
it's not
aware.
cheating. It's not cheating if you're aware, right?
Yeah.
It's not cheating if he
I don't
comes
think
to
I
you.
would.
Huh? Maria, you're not...
I don't think I would. I don't like sharing my phone, let alone a man.
It's the
You're
selfishness.
not sharing your phone
The
because
selfishness.
I don't know. Like there's no way I would be okay with sharing my man. You have me, you have someone else. I already feel like we are already too busy in this life for you to have time for someone else. How am I raising these kids for you to, on Monday you are raising those kids, on Tuesday those ones, then on the next day you come when my son has already said the first word. No, I don't want that.
The kids, kids are communal.
Right.
So they'll go to that house
Yeah.
and that one.
Yeah,
And then
kids
the
are
other ones will
communal.
come to mine.
Yeah.
Let's just keep peace, Mr. Nahashon. Please don't marry again. Let's have peace. Yeah. Let's
That man is helping society by raising children
You is
who
a
will help.
society. You're the whole
He
community.
sired them. He sired.
So he's
There's
not
no
helping.
Need, there's no need for him to sire them.
Listen, guys, polygamy is a beautiful thing. I represent members
How many
of
wives do you
polygamous.
have?
1.
You cannot have 2, I know, right?
I will have 2.
You will.
Yeah.
Damn.
Your wife should not cook tonight.
I will have 2.
Your wife should not cook tonight.
You see, from where I come from, my culture agrees that I marry more than 1 wife. And it is allowed. Why are you guys refusing men to marry?
It's a selfishness. That's
It's
why.
selfish.
It's selfish. It's a selfishness.
If
You
I
see
have
how
the
men are
means-
very selfish?
It's a
You
selfish.
see, how,
be that
you see how men are very
No, we're
selfish?
trying to spread the love.
Even I need
We
to take
also
care
have
of.
the love to spread. Will you be okay with Will you
Most
be okay
women-
with your wife having 2 husbands?
Exactly.
Most women don't
Okay.
want to do that. Most women, and this
We
is
want
just,
to do
I
this.
want to do
Us
that.
women, we want.
Don't.
In
Most
which
women
culture?
don't want
We
it.
will do it.
That's the point. The
Come
culture is
on.
always not favoring women. So if you're bringing another wife, I'm bringing another husband.
Exactly.
It's the nature of things.
Don't worry.
Y'all don't
Because
even
we'll
want 2 husbands.
When you are there on Monday, I'll be here on Monday.
Yeah.
We'll meet
Because
on
that
Wednesday.
divorced man has 2 children. They need a mother
They
figure.
need a mother figure.
So
and
I will
I'm
go
here.
be a mother figure.
A mother figure in our
to-
culture.
and
Well,
You see?
in our culture, there's no
Selfish.
single culture in the world
That favors women.
that tells women to have 2 husbands.
Right.
Then we
It's
are
not
creating
one.
it now because we are tired of this unfairness. But then you're right.
And to
Yeah.
Just because I've accepted polygamy, even you
should
sir,
accept polygamy.
have
The
3
bigger
Because
husbands.
at that time, remember those who were accepting polygamy were staying home to raise kids. The men of today want us to work. They're not okay with just...
As chilling
No.
woman.
Most
we are
men,
chilling.
We have nothing to bring on
most
the
And
men,
table.
now, when
Mo-
I chill, you go marry your secretary at the office. You did not meet this woman. You did not meet
Where?
this woman outside. You met this woman at work, at the office. And then you are here. I'm driving my car with my secretary, my second wife, to go to work. No.
most
And
men,
what is
most
wrong
men,
with that?
most
If my
men,
husband marries, I'm getting married.
most men
Period.
who agree with polygamy, they are capable of taking care of you. And
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's rare to find a man who is saying, "Look, I want to be a polygamist, or I want to, be polygamy or deal
they
with
don't have
polygamy,"
means.
and they don't have money.
It's okay.
It's rare to find
no,
that.
the guys in Ushago don't have money.
They
and
don't
they're
have
so
money.
I'm saying it's
polygamy.
rare to
They
find
have
that.
land.
And those who don't have money do not come to us and tell us we are doing
And
polygamy. They cheat.
And then one
Yeah.
other point with polygamy.
It's actually cheating, not polygamy.
One other point with polygamy, though, I like to point out is that since the day of time, a woman, and it's just the way the world is, a woman, if she deals with multiple men, she is seen in a bad way. Whereas if a man deals with multiple women, he is seen as a king.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay,
see-
Well,
that's just the way of the world. I'm sorry, that's just the
No,
way.
the problem is this now. A man is not cheating when he has 2 wives, right? But the Bible says when a man will leave his father and mother and go to the woman. Which woman? You have many. Which one? Which one was? were you
Whichever
supposed
but
to
then
we
you
choose
go
to.
and become one.
You
There's
go
no
and become
becoming
one.
3.
Now you are
Choose.
3. You have 3
Can I?
homes.
You are reading the New Testament.
Come
There's
on.
nowhere the
Are we
Bible,
gonna
nowhere
do
the
that?
Bible has ever said a woman will leave the father and mother.
No, but
They all say a man.
The question is that, but the word man, even in the Old Testament, meant both sexes.
So they can
But
go
how
from
come
it.
it's
You
written
become
man
one.
and then they say when you go to the woman and
Yes,
become one.
one become
In that
one.
verse, there's the mention of a man and a woman.
Which is okay, but I'm saying that, remember, initially the word man, it was collectively used, is how you use it. It is interchangeably used sometimes to refer to a man or a people. Now, this one refers to a man only as an individual. But the problem I have is that, it's not a problem actually, is that the Bible also says very clearly that, it says that if you cannot get married, if you cannot stay single, then get married.
Yeah, you are married already.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
but
you're not single.
initially, all these other men who are the great men of God still had their 2 wives. There's nowhere they were faulted for having 2 wives.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
There's someone who worked for 8 years and then worked for another years for. Oh, that one was
And you see, God,
healing.
he worked, got a one, then also to work to get another one.
By mistake. Alipata sister.
Alipo's sister by mistake. But you see, then initially they still given the other wife. If God had picked Israel and said, "You'll be the father of our nation," of Abraham, he wouldn't have allowed him to go and sleep with Hagar. So relationships are very complex.
But can we agree times have changed? We are not cheating
Which
or
times?
polygamies.
But also you'll use the word of God for your favor.
For your favor, yes.
Not my favor, I'm just...
Okay, not
facts.
you as
Yes.
men.
You know,
No.
they always tell us Proverbs 31,
Yeah.
but they've never read from verse 1 to 5. They start from verse 5. Proverbs, Proverbs 31, woman. Submissive. But they've not started from verse 1, whereby they say, don't be a drunkard, take care of your home. They've not read that part.
Okay, we've
They are
taken
just
care
there
of our homes.
telling us,
We've done
be
all that.
submissive, buy a land. I'm not buying a land for a man to have a second wife. No, I'm not.
You buy land for us to live.
No,
For
no.
us,
Oh, yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is heated.
Very. A trigger.
It's a,
yeah, it's a trigger.
Aisha, second wife is good.
That's
if
fine.
you find a
Second
man who is
husband
married,
good too.
As long as he out the house for
the
2
house
days.
you fix, it's okay. So what you need is baby girl treatment. Get it from a man who has...
Even 2 men, that's fine.
Yeah. Baby girl, in fact,
baby girl treatment.
baby girl treatment.
You do, Mr. Nahashon has listened to you.
Let him listen because maybe he has a second wife. She's not coming. She's not coming in my house.
Thank you very much, Maria. Maria is an author of a great book, Marriage is a Scam, but she's married, by the way. So don't listen that it's a scam. That's the
It
title
is
of her
actually.
book.
You see right now, these men are telling us polygamy is good.
And of course, Aisha, Aisha, ish.
I'm being honest. I am sitting here as representing baby girls.
Baby girl treatment.
Yeah.
Passenger princess.
Always.
And of course, our psychologist, Karim. Karim, welcome to Kenya. Before they eat your fare,
Oh man, it's already happened, man.
before
I've
they
been
eat your fare,
victim.
before they, just know that fare is eaten and they don't turn up.
And don't send their time. They don't call you with
They
it.
don't call you with it. They'll
You
call
know,
another
you know
person.
what I do now? I tell them to share your ride, and I'll send on the way.
They share the, oh,
Yeah,
you
share
become,
your
I
ride.
could easily tell the driver,
Share your ride
left.
on, you know, whether it's Bolt or Uber, share your ride with me. And then I'll send when I see the Uber moving.
You've never dated a Uber driver, right?
A Uber driver?
Yeah, I'll be
No.
a Uber driver and then I'll share my ride.
but I could collaborate with the Uber guy and tell him, we're moving, but don't worry, we are going somewhere else.
That's doing a
We're
lot.
very smart, honey.
That's
We are
doing a
so
lot
smart.
for
Okay, let's not break
15.
his heart. He's only been here
We're
for
telling
2
you the
months.
truth.
He's
Sit
been
with
here
me.
for-
Sit with me, I'll tell you the truth.
And
Karim,
don't send her fare.
Actually, I'll come. I'm those nice people because I talk, I communicate. I'll tell you I don't feel like seeing you, but I want
Oh,
money.
you gotta be careful. I do video calls and everything. Like,
Okay, that's
everything.
Now I'm scared.
Yes.
welcome, Karim. This city of Nairobi is like New York.
It
You're gonna
is.
you're gonna be careful in these streets.
It is.
Our sisters here are also very good and they can take. Of course, this is Let's Be Real, and we always bring you the realest conversation in the industry. And I hope that you've enjoyed your stay here today.
It's been good. It's been good. It's been
Great.
interesting.